Hello and welcome to the Kayden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. Joining me right here today is Brooklyn Blackmore. Brooklyn, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be chatting with you today.
So let's get started by getting to know you a little bit and how you get started in the music industry.
I picked up actually the fiddle at a really young age. When I was 3 years old, I saw a local talent on fiddle here called Natalie McMaster. I saw her on breakfast television. So I thought that was just the coolest instrument ever, and I wanted to learn how to play it myself. So I got one for my fourth birthday, and that's what kind of started my love for music. Over the years, I picked up fiddle and piano, not fiddle. I already said fiddle, sorry. I picked up the piano, I picked up guitar, and then I started finding my voice as a singer and a songwriter. And then in 2016, I actually competed in the Global Country Star Search, which is what actually launched my love for country music because I ended up winning that Star Search. And that took me on a trip to Nashville and the Canadian Country Music Week. So that really just opened my eyes to a whole new level of the music industry and everything that goes on behind the scenes.
What advice would you give somebody that might want to start doing music, whether that be songwriters, singers? What would you tell them, Brooklyn?
I would tell them to just go for it. Don't hold back. Don't be scared that other people are going to judge what you're doing. I just think if you believe in yourself and you believe in your art, then everything will just fall into place. So just take that jump and give it a try.
Do you have any upcoming singles or projects you want to tell us about today? I know we were just chatting about it.
Yes. Actually, last Friday, May 26th, I released my most recent single, Been There Too. This is the most vulnerable song I've ever really written. It's very open and honest about a situation that I went through a couple years ago. I'm unfortunately a victim of sexual assault. So a couple years ago, that's a really hard part of my life. And I was finally at a place where I felt like I could take my power back and start speaking my truth. So I wrote this song to kind of inspire other people who might be going through this to just to feel hopeful in their journey and know that healing is a long process, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And I've been there too. You're not alone.
If someone was to write a song about you, what do you think that they would take the time to write about?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I don't know. I like to think that I'm a pretty like energetic, bubbly person. Like one of the first songs that I actually kind of wrote was called Flower Child, and I felt like that's kind of an anthem for who I am. I'm really kind of an old soul, so I could see it kind of just being about enjoying your life and being one with nature and stuff.
Where do you see yourself in the next couple of years, or where do you want to be, Brooklyn?
I would like to get a little more known around Canada, kind of get a presence at the Canadian Country Music Awards. I'm getting ready to release my next record, so I'm hoping that's going to be a next stepping stone in my journey for me and bring me to that next level. I've got a little bit of radio airplay, but I would really love that to bump up a little more, maybe see some charting. So that's a really big goal for me in the next few years.
Absolutely, for sure. What do
hmm
you like doing outside of music? Do you have any hobbies, interests, anything like that?
Most of it's music, I'll be honest to you, but I do like spending a lot of time outside. And you probably wouldn't guess this, but I actually do electrical work with my father. So I kind of enjoy doing the handy stuff as well.
There you go. That's really, really cool. That's probably nothing I would guess, but
Yeah, a lot of people say that. She's a jack of all trades.
absolutely. If you had an opportunity to play anywhere in the world, Brooklyn, where would you go and why?
Hmm. I would have to say Nashville. Nashville is like a bucket list for me. I was fortunate to take a trip there last year and I got to do a little bit of performing on Broadway, but just I would love to do more of that on a bigger scale. I think that would be fantastic, especially being in the country industry. It's just that's the hub, that's where everybody's at.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that.
hmm Fantastic talent out that way. So it would be nice to be surrounded by that when you're so passionate about music.
If you had to choose one singer to duet or collaborate with, who would you choose and why?
Easy. Miley Cyrus, actually. That might come as a surprise as well, but she's been a huge influence for me throughout my entire life, starting from Hannah Montana when I was a kid and up to her most recent record. I've loved everything she's done in the evolution. And I feel like we kind of have similar, like lower register voices, which is not super common in a lot of females. So I think she's a really good role model for me. I'd love to collaborate with her.
If people want to learn more about you, Brooklyn, where can they find you?
You can check out my website at brooklynblackmore.ca. And I'm also on pretty much all the social medias. You can search Brooklyn Blackmore on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm even on TikTok and YouTube. And of course, your favorite streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, everything like that.
If you had one message to tell anyone that might be listening right now, what would you tell them, Brooklyn?
Just to live your life at the fullest. Try to find the positivity in everything because that's what I've been trying to do lately.
Do you have a hidden talent? If so, tell us a little bit about that.
A hidden talent. I don't really know, honestly. Nothing comes to mind. I think right now my hidden talent is kind of the fiddle because I haven't been playing it as much over the last few years, so I've been kind of popping it back into my shows, and people seem to be really enjoying that. So I'd say maybe that's my hidden talent.
There you go. I mean, that works.
It does work. There's probably something else, but I don't know. I've never got that question before, actually. You stumped me.
I mean, I'm glad I stumped you there.
I do like to garden, but I don't know if that's a talent.
I mean, a lot of people garden, so I guess so.
It's on the fence.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Mhm.
So, what's next for you? Do you have any upcoming projects or anything?
Yeah, I'm actually currently working towards my next EP, which I actually had the privilege to record down in Nashville. So that's going to be the next big step for me after this single release and everything. And I've got some cool summer shows coming up that I'm excited for. So I think it's going to be a really good year.
Oh, that's wonderful. And Brooklyn, is there anything that I forgot to mention that you would like to mention here on the show today?
I think we covered most of it. I think I'd really like your listeners to check out my new single, Been There Too. And if they like what they hear, maybe check out everything else.
Brooklyn Blackmore, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the Kayden Gordon Show today's Best Country Mix. We definitely appreciate your time and support, so thank you.
Thank you so much for having me today.